Hey friends, Todd Chipman here, Dean of Graduate Studies at Midwestern Baptist Theological Seminary, teaching pastor at Masters Community Church, getting ready for Sunday and preaching. Today is Friday, March 14th. I'm up Sunday the 16th and preaching the end of John 15, beginning of John 16. Whenever I do these pre-sermon spotlights, I'm thinking about literature, history, theology. That's the grid when I prep for a sermon. Here we have theology standing out so much. This is the Spirit that is given, the Spirit who comes from the Father. Jesus makes that explicit twice in John 15:16. When the Counselor comes, the one I will send to you from the Father, the Spirit of truth who proceeds from the Father, he will testify about me. We have the Trinity in this one verse so strongly. The Spirit proceeding from the Father, Jesus sending the Spirit. This theology carries in through the rest of the passage. And what we find is the common matrix of New Testament theology, that theology is for practical problems. That the writer or speaker here, Jesus, is dealing with a practical problem the disciples are experiencing. He has told them he's going away. He is their security. He is their source of life. That is obvious throughout John's gospel. And when he says he's leaving, there is trouble for the disciples at the end of chapter 13, beginning of chapter 14. But he states that it's to their advantage. So the Spirit coming is to their advantage because the Spirit will live in them. The Spirit will empower them. They will speak Jesus' words by the Spirit. So we have theology and the historical situation of the disciples right here wed together. And this is one of the important features of doing systematic and biblical theology together as best we can. We recognize that theology is often for a practical problem. It's never just abstract, it's for reality. And this, again, shows us the nearness of our God and him working through us. This takes us to the literary flow of chapter 16 within the Upper Room Discourse. This anticipates chapter 17, where Jesus is speaking about his union with the Father. And all the Father has is his. All that he has is the Father's. And we, the disciples who have followed from those who heard Jesus and that message carried on to us, we have this union with God, and he is living in us by the Spirit. We have the presence of God in us together in the church. So many of these themes. I'm answering the question, how does the Spirit help Jesus' disciples? It empowers us for witness. The Spirit comes upon us, confirming God's life in us. We identify with him. We carry on. We're able to endure and not apostatize, proclaiming his truth to the end. Can't wait to preach this and think about it. This union that we have with God is so different than even a husband-wife union, because this union that we have with God is eternal, even beyond husband and wife in this life. It is from God in us, and forever we will be God's people. Excited to preach this. For more sermon spotlights pre and post, go to biblicalstudiestoday.com. For more information on preaching classes and New Testament theology classes, mbts.edu. See you next time.